Hello. Welcome to Fundu Tester. Today we are going to discuss on multiple terminologies which are build, patch, hotfix, cold fix in terms of the new build. And whenever we are working on a different types of application, let's say Android, iOS or web application, then in this case how we will receive the build from the development team. So this all things we are going to discuss after a small intro. Before that, please consider subscribing Fundu Testers and don't forget to like and share this video. So let's start.
Camera rolling, action.
So first of all, what is a build? In simple words, build means whatever code developer has written, they will convert into a one file. It can be for Android application, it can be a APK file. For iOS application, it can be a IPA file, and for web application, it can be a WAR file. And they will convert into such a form like an executable file, which file we can install in our machine, in Android phone or iOS phone, and we can perform a certain activities. So this is called a build. Build will contain full source code and it will have complete functionality of the application. Next terminology is a patch. Before that, I will give you a small example. Few years back, we used to download Internet Download Manager, where our internet speed was so slow, and we used to apply patch on Internet Download Manager to make it a crack. In similar way, whenever we are going to use a new build, whenever we are going to start working on a new build and we will find some critical defect or blocker defect that development team has to fix immediately, in that case they will give a small part of a entire build. So we have this much build, 100% code. Out of that 100%, let's say we have find out blocker issue in the 5% area of the code. So they will make a changes, and instead of giving entire build, they will give a small part of a build which we can call as a patch. So this is all about the patch. Now we'll move to the hotfix. So recently we all know Facebook went down and they did some small changes on the live production. In the similar way, whenever we are going live with any product, and from the real-time environment or from production environment, whenever we are getting blocker issue that has to be fixed immediately, in this case, development team will go with the hotfix. What does it mean? Hotfix can have a fix of the software or application. If we are going with the hotfix, which means development team will install the patch or a small fix in the real-time environment, and user will not get to know that issue is getting fixed or not. User no need to install a new build or no need to update the implementation. It will be automatically reflected for end user. Cold fix is exactly opposite of the hot fix. In cold fix, the difference is end user has to update the application or development team has to restart the server or resume activity. In the hot fix, it will affect immediately. So this is the major difference between the hot fix and cold fix. Now question is, whenever we are working on a different types of application, let's say Android application, iOS application or web application, in that case how we will get a build. So before that, I will discuss one more terminology, which is a monolith application architecture versus microservices. So I'll give you a simple example. Let's say if we are going to a big supermarket or a huge mall, there we will get all the necessary products like vegetables, fruits, clothes, utensils, and all the household product. Opposite, if we are going to a small market, let's say we are going to a vegetable market, from there we will get only vegetables. If we are going to a fruit market, we will get only fruits. If we are going to a small clothing shop, we will get only clothes. The similar way, for a monolith architecture, it will be a big file where entire application source code will be there. But in microservices, they will divide source code into a small chunks. For example, if we are going to talk about any application, so in every application there are major functionality. They are connecting together and they are making a one huge application. For example, let's say we are talking about the Facebook. So in Facebook, there can be a one microservice of the user, one microservice of the page, one microservice of the group, and they will connect all the microservices and it will be a big application. So this is all about the microservices and monolith architecture. Now, in terms of the web application, how we will get a new build? So for that, in different companies, there are DevOps team, or in few companies, tester are installing a new build, or in few companies, development team is going to install a new build. So what happens whenever they are going to get a build, they will generally generate a build in the local machine or via Jenkins, and it will be some file, war file or tar file. So they will go to the server, and in the particular directory, what they have to do, first of all, they have to remove the old build. They are going to delete the old build and they will take a backup of the database. So similar way with the build, let's say we are working on a 1.1 build, 2.0 build, 3.0 build. Similar way with the build, there will be a versioning system for the database. So apart, it will go in a same manner. Let's say we are working on build 1.0, then in the similar way, same manner, it will go with the database also. Database version will be a 1.0. Similar way, if we are going with the higher build, it will be a 2.0. Same manner, database build will be 2.0. So what they will do, they will remove, if they are going to install build 2.0 over the build 1.0, in that case, they will first delete build 1.0 and they will take a backup of database, because database they cannot delete. If they are going to delete the database, then all the data will get erased. So what they will do, they will take a backup. If something will go wrong, something will went wrong, then we will have a backup, and the build also we will have a backup. So what they will do, they will install build 2.0 and they will upgrade as a database version as well. So like that, this mechanism will work. And to installation, there will be some few predefined steps. So we have to just copy paste files and we have to run few commands. Later on, it will automatically reflected to the higher version. And from the same URI, let's say we are working on a Facebook and build is a 1.0. So URL will remain same, www.facebook.com. If they are going to upgrade the build, then also we are going to get the data from the same URL, facebook.com. So from the URI part, there is no changes, but build versioning is changes. Now let's move to the Android. So let's say if we are working on an Android application and we are testing Android application, so day by day we will get a new build. We will get a build via, they can share a build via mail, or they will upload into a drive and we have to download and we have to install the build in our Android mobile phone. So there are multiple ways to install the Android application. For example, using ADB commands, we can install the Android application. Apart from directly, we have to just copy entire APK file. We can paste into a mobile storage, and from that we can execute that file. It will automatically install. So there are multiple ways to install Android application. Later on, we'll move to the iOS application. So in iOS, we will get a build in the form of the IPA. So a extension of that file will be a IPA file, and in the similar fashion, developer will give a build from on a drive, or they can share on a mail, or there is one more way to share file with the testing team, which is a TestFlight. TestFlight is a software which works similarly to Android Play Store or App Store. It will be a small store, and there you will get only your application. So developer will push, or developer will deploy application into a TestFlight, and from the TestFlight you have to download the application and you can work on that build. Apart from, if they are going to share build via mail or from Google Drive, or somehow you have to trigger a build using the Jenkins, then you can download build in the local machine, and using iTunes we can install build in our iOS applications. Now the question is, whenever we are getting a new build, we know how to work on an iOS build, how to start working on a new build of iOS application, Android application or web application. But the question is still remains same. Whenever we are getting a new build, then what to do? From where to start? This is the question, right? So whenever we are getting a new build, let's say we are working on a build 1 or 2 and we are getting a build number 3. So in that case, first we will start with the new functionality. Why new functionality? So whenever we are getting a new build, first we will start with the smoke testing or sanity testing. Why smoke testing? Because we are going to make sure that whatever most of the critical functionalities are working in the new build. So once we are done with the smoke testing, then we will go with the new functionalities. Whatever functionality development team has implemented in the build 3, those functionality we are going to test first. Why? Because in the new functionality there are more chances to get a new bugs in the new functionality, because we are going to test first time. And third priority will be retesting the bugs. So we are working on a build number 3 and whatever bugs we have raised in the build number 2, so along with the new functionality, developer will fix those bugs. So we are going to work on those bugs as well. We are going to make sure that whatever development has fixed, whatever development team has fixed, those are reflected here. And there are no more bugs in the build 3, whatever we have raised in the build 2. So these are 3 priorities. First we will go with the smoke testing. Then we will start working on a new functionality. And then we will move to the retesting part. Now here one more tricky part. Part number 2, functional testing, and part number 3, retesting. This can be interchanged. Why? Because if there are showstopper or blocker bug, then after a smoke testing, we will first verify critical or showstopper bugs and then we will move to the new functionality, or we can do both together. It depends on the tester choice. There is a no hard and fast rule like we have to first do with the new functionality and then we will have to do with the retesting. It's totally depends on the tester experience. Now we have done with the smoke testing, retesting and functional testing, or smoke testing, functional testing and retesting. Later on we'll move to the regression part. Why? Because we are going to make sure that whatever functionality was working in build 2 and build 1, those functionalities should work in the build 3 as well. So fourth is a regression testing, and later on we'll move to the ad hoc testing. We will try to come up with the new creative scenarios, and other testing we can perform after performing basic level of the testing. I hope this makes sense. So I hope everything is clear, and if you have any doubt, feel free to ask me in the comment section. I will be happy to answer you. Stay tuned with the Fundu Tester for latest videos. Thank you so much.